Well, hello, hello. Good evening, friends. I am Elizabeth with Elizabeth Rose Studio. If you're not familiar, tonight we're going to be making our elf ornament makers kits. I sent them out last week. I think it was last week. Yes, on Friday, because the holiday, I think they're just now all arriving. So the elves are coming home for Christmas. I hope that if you ordered one, you've received it by now. If not, let me know. You should have gotten tracking also with your email. And believe it or not, we have a few left. I made extra this year so that everybody that wanted one could get one. So they're still available on my website, and there is a link at the top of this video. When the video is over, there's a link at the top. And actually, I'm going to stick it in the comments here just so that we have it in case anybody needs it. Well, hello, everybody. It's so good to see everybody's faces and names. Oh, got yours this morning. Awesome. So you can still order one if you don't have one. Let's go ahead and get started because the people watching this on replay are not going to want me to say hi to everybody. So let's go ahead and get started. I love making these kits every year. I mean, I got a picture just a few minutes ago from somebody that was just now doing their Nutcracker kit from last year. And I have a few of those still available too. So when you go onto my website, you can go to the main page and you'll see the Nutcracker kits as well as these elf kits. I've fallen in love with these little guys though. They've been sitting around in my studio for a few months. So I love seeing them over here. All right, so that's what we're going to be making. Let me go ahead and open my kit. Your kit will have instructions, written instructions. You don't have to follow this video if you don't want to. You can just do the instructions. You'll have art resin. You'll have a packet of goodies, some cord for hanging, gloves, some little cups to put your artwork on while we pour the resin, a couple of brushes, your paints, a template, and a piece of graphite paper, some more little sprinkle things, glue, and your 4 ornament rounds. I'm going to set this aside, and you want to make sure when you get started that you've covered your workspace with plastic. You can even take the bag that your kits arrived in and cut it and open it up and use the back side of this. That would work just fine. So just make sure you've covered your workspace with plastic. So I guess the only thing that you're really going to need is a pair of scissors to cut open the edge of this packet when it's all mixed together, and maybe a paper towel and some water to rinse your brushes. So you should be good to go otherwise. I'm going to set these out and figure out which side of the wood I'm going to use to do my art on. And it really doesn't matter. They're the same. We're going to set that out. And then I have my template and my graphite paper. So to find the side that needs to go down of your graphite paper, you want to do the side that's shiny and a little bit darker. You can tell the difference on that, right? Oh, you're probably going to need a pencil too, or a pen. Yeah, you will. Or the back of your paintbrush would even work, I guess. So you're going to lay your graphite paper with the shiny side and the darker side down, and make sure your hole is at the top. Okay. Then you're going to place your little elf head down. And I'll tell you, the things that you need to trace are going to be the hairline. So we're going to trace that. And maybe the cheeks. You can put a circle where the nose and eyes are going to go, and the mouth. And then this neck here. My pencil lead keeps breaking. And then that little neck piece right there. Okay. So I'm going to remove that. I just kind of marked where the eyes and the nose and the mouth are going to go. But that's what I want to have, is this hairline and then this little area where the collar of his shirt is going. I'm not even going to trace these other ones because I know how to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and paint it. And you don't have to trace it if you feel comfortable painting. It's not a big deal. So I'm going to get one of these little cups to mix some paint in, because we're going to have to mix some hair color. And I just kind of tap, tap, tap like this with those paints, because they do settle a little bit and travel. I had them travel to me, and then I packed them up and traveled to you. So, that's just something to keep in mind. And I like to make my skin color a little bit less peachy than the one that comes with the paint. So I'm going to add a little bit of water to my skin color. All right. So let me get my kind of bigger brush here, and I'll just put some of this paint in here for my skin tone. And then I'm going to grab some white paint and mix that together. I like that color a little bit better, but you can do whatever you want. I just like it to be a little bit lighter. It seems kind of orange to me. It's supposed to be like a skin tone. You can make it darker, you can make it lighter, whatever you want to do. And so now I'm going to go through here and paint my face. These little elves have so much personality. You can make their hair curly. You can do this however you want. And yes, I'm painting over the pencil lines from the graphite paper, but you should be able to still see it through, which is why I didn't trace out everything on there, because your eyes might be a little bit different size, and the little glass pieces for your eyes, the little glass piece for your nose might be a little bit different size. So just kind of keep that in mind. So I'm just gonna eyeball this one. We'll do all 4 of these. Sorry if my camera's being kind of shifty. I don't know what's going on with it these days. I think it was an update. Hello, hello. I hope y'all are doing great tonight. This is the most wonderful time of the year for me. It's the busiest, but it's my favorite. And I'm just kind of eyeballing where that shirt's going to go. I'm telling you, this does not have to be perfect. In fact, they're going to be cuter if they're not perfect. Even if I tried, I couldn't make them perfect. So, and you can choose to paint the sides of your ornaments or not. That's up to you. Whatever you want to do. I'm going to do my hairline here. Somebody said one of their elves looked like, what's his name? Hermie the elf from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You know, the dentist one. I think that's so cute. He does a little bit look like Hermie. We're going to mix some colors for these hair colors, because the hair color, gosh, you can do anything you want, but I'm going to show you how to make a brown hair color, because we don't have a brown in these paints. Now, if you want to use your own paints, please feel free to. These are just acrylic paints. But if you want to mix a brown with these paints that I sent, which they're pretty good. I mean, they're pretty good quality paints for being in a strip like this. Usually ones like that are not, but I think these are pretty good. Okay, so we've got all our little faces, and now we're going to mix some paint for our hair. I've used up pretty much everything that's on there, so I'm just going to mix in this. I can do one of them with black hair. That's great. We'll do one with black hair. But then I want to do one with brown hair. So to mix a brown color, we're going to mix red and green to make brown. Red and green, or blue and orange, any purple and yellow, any opposite colors are going to give you brown. Did y'all know that? Oh, wait, that's aqua. Hold on. Any opposite colors will give you a brown color. Now, if you don't shake these really good like I did, make sure with these paints, make sure that you stir them if you didn't shake them like I did. I shook them for a long time before I ever started this video. So I'm going to put a couple of scoops of green in there, and then I'm going to grab some red. And I've already got peach in there. Listen, this is going to make a really muddy brown color. When I was little, I used to say my hair was the color of dirt. It's not like dirt now, but when I was little, I think it was. So that's kind of the color brown that you get when you mix those two. I'm gonna add a little more red. Alexa, stop. Oh, why she started playing music. That's no good. Sorry. I woke up your all's home robots. Holly, I bought the ears already cut. I did not hand cut the ears. Okay, so that's a brown that we got with red and green. And then I'm going to show you a purple and yellow brown too. So here is a brown with red and green. Just kind of making that hair across there. Okay, now I'm going to show you a purple and yellow brown. Rinse off my brush. And I'm using these little cups, and that is just fine because whenever we go to use them for our artwork, we're going to, whenever we go to use them for our artwork, we'll flip them upside down and it won't matter if they've had paint in them or not. That's not going to affect anything. So here's my purple. Need to make as much as I did last time. And then yellow. And this will make a little bit different shade of brown. Almost like a dirty blonde brown. And let's get it on here. Here we go. Hello, hello. I love seeing all y'all's faces. Thanks for joining me tonight. I know it's supper time for most people, but I appreciate you being here. I'm just kind of making swoops of hair across there. So that's purple and yellow. If I added a little more purple, it would be more brown than golden. But you can see even that is kind of a warm brown. Okay. And then we'll do one blonde and one with black hair. We're equal opportunity here. I guess I could do one with red hair. My husband's a redhead, but we're not doing that tonight. But if you wanted to do one with red hair, I would mix the orange and the yellow together to get your redheaded elf. I should say my husband used to have red hair. Now it's more brown and gray, but I did that to him. This is the one that they said looked like Hermie. So you're just kind of making a swoop across the top there. Let's do the one with black hair. I do too. I love being able to achieve different shades of brown. Blue and orange makes a good brown too. So that's another way you can make brown. So any colors that are opposite on the color wheel make a good brown. Oh, why did I go all the way up there? I should not have done that. And you know what's easier than painting over something, because this is going to be painted over with white. It's easier to remove paint. Get your paper towel a little bit wet. Well, it's not going to remove because that wood is so thirsty and dry. We'll just let that be for a minute. I didn't mean to paint over that. You need to stop right there because the next step we're going to do is to, well, I should uncover that up either, is to paint the top up here white. But I think next I'm going to do their collars because I need to let this dry. If I put white right up next there to that brown while it's still wet, it's going to pull that brown or black or yellow into the white hat. So I'm going to skip over to our painted collars, okay? And when I decide what colors to paint the collars, I'm going to look at these. And if you want to match these colors, you can. But if you want, which is what I did in the sample pieces, like the red hat band gets a red collar and the pink hat band gets a pink collar. But listen, you guys, you have all of these colors at your disposal, all of these colors of paints. So make them however you want. You do not have to stick to my colors. This would be really pretty with the green hat band, the lime green and aqua. And the red would be pretty with the pink, and the pink would be pretty with orange. So anything that you want to do is acceptable. All right. Don't feel like you're bound to the picture that I showed you. I loved the way you guys took the nutcrackers last year and really made them unique and made them your own. So I would love to see you do that with these elves. Okay, so let me do purple and blue. I've got blue there. I'm going to do purple and blue for this guy. Just gonna paint this shirt, the little collar down here of his outfit. I guess this would be his outfit, and then the white triangles would be the collar. But either way, this one's gonna be purple, and then I'm gonna put the blue hat band with that one. And then I think I'm gonna do pink and put the red hat band with the pink one. So if you're doing these with kids, you know what, guys? Just let them do whatever they want. They're not going to break it. It's going to be amazing no matter what they do. Let them have at it. I'm so glad y'all are here. Look at all those friendly faces. Oh, let's see. I'm going to do aqua with green. I have a very colorful personality, or so I've been told. So color is one of my favorite things. We have to add color where we can. And then what did I say I was going to do? So let's see. Let me go ahead and take these out. Make it easy. Pink. Oh, pink and red. That's what I was going to do. Pink and red and pink. Maybe I could do pink and orange. Green and aqua and blue and purple. I know you do, Holly. I do too. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to do orange. Where's my orange? Pink and orange. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so cute. Complementary colors like that look so good together, in my opinion. So has everybody decorated for Christmas already? I feel like since Thanksgiving is so late this year, people are decorating earlier than they normally do. Oh, I didn't mean to drop that like that. Okay. Now we're going to do our white for the top of the... Oh, that's awesome. Good. I'm so glad, Sandy. Well, there are still kits available. That's why I stuck the link in there. In fact, I'll do it again right now. There are still kits available. I even have Nutcracker kits. So I have kits for the elves and Nutcracker kits. The next thing you're going to do is paint the top of this white. Just like that. And I got a little yellow in there, but that's okay. I'm going to get a little brown in there on this top. It's okay. We're covering it with glass, but we're going to cover it with that glass, but the glass is a little bit see-through, just a little bit. So I want to get it covered with white paint too. See how good this paint covers? Even though it's in those strips like that, it's not a bad paint at all. All right, and then this one. Thank you, Liz. Thank you. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Okay, I got my colors switched around. So I'm going to place my little hat bands on my elves. You might want to make sure that they don't go off the edge, just because they'll poke out. And if somebody, handles it too much or whatever, it might poke out and poke them in the hand. So just be careful with that. So slide them down, make sure they're not too much over the edge. Just like that. And if you need to, you know what, I'm going to go in here with my little brush and I'm going to paint a little more black under that pink one. Just a little more so that the hair comes down just a little bit further. Like that. Where can you get the nutcrackers? Let me pull that up for you real quick. There you go. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is get out these little things. This is all the good stuff. These are all the sprinkles. Now you might want to get a plate or something to dump these out. I'm just going to dump them into a couple of these little cups because I have them here and they're fine, just like that. So I have eyeballs. And for these elves, I'm going to turn the eyes so that they're facing this way. And they're all kind of different sizes because they're hand cut. So just find two that match better than two that don't match. You know, you might have one that's a little bit smaller, one that's a little bigger. It's fine. It is fine. It's not going to hurt anything. They're a little bit different. See, I'll show you. Oh, that's going to be wet. That is wet. Need to let this dry for a second, but so see how this one's a little bit bigger than that one? Just kind of find two that match. And you'll have two that match, I promise. So just fool around with it until you get what you want. Then you're welcome. Thank you for asking. Okay, so these are all our little eyes. And you may remember for the nutcrackers, we turned the eyes so they were that way. This time we're turning the eyes so that it just makes them look a little bit happier. The next thing you have is a nose. You have little bitty noses. So we're going to stick our little nose on there. I haven't glued anything down yet, okay? I'm still just kind of playing around. That's the beauty. One of the beautiful parts about making glass and resin art is nothing is permanent until you pour resin on it. So you can put stuff down and move it around and say, I don't like that. Oh, I want it like this. You know, whatever you want to do until the resin is on there. And then it's kind of stuck. But till then, you're good to go. Oh, I'm so glad. How fun. Okay. So we've got our little elves kind of drawn out and everything. The next thing we've got are ears. And I'm going to go ahead and get the glue out for this. You have a little glue pen. I love these glue pens. So you can hang on to this even afterwards and keep using it because they're great and it dries clear. So I'm going to find, we've got ears that are different sizes. We have this size and this size, and you want your ears to match. So just make sure you're putting two matching ears with two matching ears. Okay, so you've got these ears and this one. Here we go. And where's my other one? Here it is. Still in the bag. Okay, so make sure that you've got, ears that are going to go together. You don't want one of each of those, right? I guess that's pretty self-explanatory, but you got to explain it all. Okay, so these ears are okay if they stick off. In fact, I think they should stick off. I think they should. And I'm just going to glue those down with just a little bit of glue. You don't need much glue. I've got a little too much, but that's okay. We're going to go with it anyway. It won't hurt. You just have to let it dry completely before you pour resin on them, okay? Just keep that in mind. And the ears should probably be level with the nose, like across the eyes, across this way. Make it level with the nose, just like your ears are. We learned that in art school. Hello. I love that people are popping on here. Awesome. Okay. Little ears. And you may not do them assembly line style, especially if you're doing them with other people. You may do, one at a time. But I would still make sure that you've got the right ears, together, and you've got the right eyes together and all that stuff. Okay, now I'm going to paint my eyes. And you might find this easier to do if you hold them in your hand. I'm going to see if I can do it without holding it in my hand for the sake of television or Facebook Lives or whatever. Hello, hello. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is draw a half circle in the color of my iris. A half circle, okay? And you want them to be about the same. Like that. I still have some brown over here, so we'll give this elf with the black hair brown eyes. And just do that half circle, just like that. We'll give this elf, oh, we'll give this blonde one green eyes. They're kind of aqua. Your eyes can be any color you want to. We are breaking all the rules here, whatever you want. Whatever you want to do. And then maybe we'll do a lighter blue on this one over here. Another blue, but maybe a lighter blue. If you're doing this with kids, I think it'd be so fun to let them do their own eye color, their own hair color. Try to make those the same size if you can, but if you can't, that's okay. All right. Make sure your brush is really dry before you go to the next color. I had water dripping down there. All right, now we're going to do a black smaller circle. This will be the pupil. Or smaller half circle. And try to make them, they don't have to be twins, your eye shapes. They don't have to be twins, but it'd be nice if they were sisters, you know. Get them close enough that, and if you have to wipe it off and start over, you can do that. Doesn't hurt a thing. And it'll just wipe right off till you put resin on it, and then it won't wipe off at all. And you probably don't want to do this as fast as I'm doing it. You want to let this dry, okay? Because I'm kind of making a mess here by not letting it dry. But we have to do it this way in order to do our video live. So, whoop. All right, I'm going to let that dry for a minute before I put the white dot on the eyes. Let's see, the next thing I want to do is take some pink and mix it with a little bit of white paint. Just a little, because I'm going to paint these cheeks. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of white. I had some black still in there. There we go. And then I'm going to just, next to the nose, do 2 little circles for cheeks. And again, they don't have to be exactly the same, but if they're close, that would be nice. I think these are faster than the Nutcrackers were last year, but they're just as cute, I think. I love elves. I've loved elves since I was a little girl, so. I had gotten a little bit of paint on that one right there, so I just covered it up with this cheek color. Little splatter of paint. All right, we've got little cheeks. Oh, they're so cute. Okay. Now we're gonna do a smile. I'm doing this before I put stuff down here because I don't want it to be in my way. So I'm gonna do their smiles all a little bit different. I'm just doing kind of a, not even a half circle, but like a long curve. And then an edge. Okay. So a long curve and then an edge. I think it makes them look kind of cheeky, you know, kind of silly and cute and like they're up to no good or they're working hard maybe. I I should say that. I think elves work hard. I don't think they're mischievous. Thank you. All right, I scooted him out of the way. He was in my way. So I'm going to fix his ear again before this glue dries. Fix his ear. And then I'm just going to make sure that the nose and everything is the way I want it because they get kind of wonky. You can always glue them down if you want to. You could paint your eyes, set them aside, let them dry, and then glue them down. Ooh, freckles would look cute, Kim. That would be adorable. All right, I'm going to take the back of my brush and make a little dot. It's on the same side on both pupils. Whatever you do on one side, just do the same thing on the other side. And that'll make it look like there's some light in their eyes, just a little twinkle in their eye. Just like that. Really brings them to life. You think mine are mischievous? Mine probably are mischievous, honestly. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is decide which little doodad goes on which elf. So I kind of like this one on the blue, I guess because it's snow and I don't know. I'm going to stick that there. And then I have 2 candy canes. So you've got 2 candy canes in your kit. One is Christmas colors. It might be red and white. It might be it might be green and red. I don't know. And the other one is kind of this rainbow one, which I like this. I kind of like that with that one. But you can play around with it and do whatever you want. This is yours. This is your piece. That no. Now I'm not liking the pink and the orange together. I think I'm going to repaint that pink. Is that bad? Don't tell Linda Obradis. She loves pink. She loves the orange. And I don't mind orange, but I don't like it with that pink. I don't know why. So we're going with pink. I'm going to go over this with pink. I know I already have a pink one up there, but it's okay. I guess I could have done this one in red. I don't know, y'all. See how easy that is to change that? If you want to, you don't have to do everything the way that you first intended. Easy peasy. Okay, I like that better. Okay, then I have little jingle bells. I'm going to put jingle bells on this one. So let me get my glue out because they are not going to stay without glue. These little doodads probably need to be glued down. So we'll do 3 little jingle bells on here. Just a little cluster. Just like that. So cute. Oh, before I do that, I need to do my glass, this glass. I'm going to kind of make a little wall around the edge here. I'm not covering the whole thing with glue, but I'm kind of making a little arched pattern to hold the glass in place. If I don't do this, I think I'm going to end up with glass everywhere instead of where I want it. Slide these down. They're getting away from me, aren't they? Okay, so I have these. Oh, I could have made it yellow. That would have been adorable. We're already committed to pink. Where were you seconds ago? Okay, so I'm just going to sprinkle this on here. And I just think that that little edge of glue is going to hold stuff where I want it to stay. And you have plenty of this, but you won't need all of it that I sent you. That was kind of hard to measure out to figure out how much you were going to need because I did it 2 or 3 times. And I was like, well, if they make the hat a little bigger, you can use a dry paintbrush to kind of scooch that back into place. Whatever you want to do. I just like this little bit of sparkle on here. There we go. Like I said, you've got a ton of this. A ton of this that you can play with. You also have in your kit a pair of tweezers. Mine are still in the bottom down there somewhere. There. You also have a pair of tweezers. So if you do get stray glass and you want to put it back, these tweezers are super helpful for that. If you dump it in a place you didn't want it. But you do want to put down your hat band first because you'll have glass in that spot and then the hat band won't lay down flat. Okay. Got their little hats. Oh, there's a little, these little guys, their stuff goes everywhere. Okay, back to our little doodads. So I'm going to put this doodad up here. And I am putting a little bit of glue on that. You don't have to, but I'm going to. Wait, I wanted this one on that candy cane. This would be cute too to use though. Whatever you want to do. And it's okay if they hang over the edge a little bit. That's not going to hurt anything. Little snowflake. All right. Like I said, if you want to, yes, they do have holes in them. So that was the other thing I was going to say. Once you start to pour your resin, you can scooch the hole, use a toothpick or the back of your brush. That's actually really good for your back of your brush. And go down in that little hole. Where did this one go? Right there. Go down in that little hole and open it. Make sure it's open. And you can do that after you pour resin in it, after you pour the resin on them or before. It's going to fill up with resin though. Just make sure that fits in there perfectly. I told Sean when he started drilling holes in these, I said, make sure it's big enough that you can put the back of the paintbrush in it. Okay. So let's see. Oh, that'll be so fun, Sandy. So the next thing we're going to do are these little triangles. There should be 5. There's more than 5 for each of them, but there should be at least 5. So you can put one in the middle and then kind of go outward from there, or you can do it like I'm doing. And that's where the template was handy because I measured out, how you wanted this to go. And you can glue these down. Let's say we wanted to glue them down. I would just do it like this because your glue is going to dry clear. So it's not going to hurt to have it somewhere where you don't want it. And that way, you don't have to glue each individual one, but they'll all be glued down. After the resin dries, you can reopen the hole with a drill. You can use a hand drill or a electric drill, or you can just poke something in it before the resin dries, and then it won't fill up with resin. When I say poke something in it, the back of your paintbrush. But now if it does fill up with resin and the resin is dry, then I would use a drill to drill out the hole. That has a little bit of glass on it right there. Y'all see that? You've reopened them with the drill? Yes, I have too, Cindy. In fact, sometimes when I'm making them for myself, I don't even drill a hole until after I'm finished, and then I put a hole in it. But these come pre-drilled because Sean is amazing. Takes really good care of me and my customers. Really good care of us. Whoop. Okay, so all these little balls. That's what you really need the glue for, because let me tell you, sisters and brothers, whoever's out there, these little balls roll around like crazy. Okay, this one I'm going to put 6 on because I have enough. And if I don't put that 6th one on, then the collar's not in the right spot. Okay, so I've got all these little balls. I like to kind of think about, maybe I'll do 4 on here. I just like to really decorate these guys, I think if you've got gold jingle bells, you need gold. decorations on your hat. Maybe silver for these. But kind of pick out your colors, figure out what you like, what you want to go together, how you want these to look. Power tools. We all love power tools, don't we? All right. Guys, these are almost finished. This is so fun. Now, I know some people last year did their favorite sports ball teams and their favorite universities and their kids' favorite colors and, with the nutcrackers. I think that would be so cute. You have lots of room for customization for these guys. So if you want to go, think outside the box. If you have like a little doodad from a university or a little doodad from, I don't know, anything. If I had a little plastic bike, if you go and you look at the dollhouse section at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or the little fairy garden section, there are all kinds of little doodad things that you could add to these to really make them unique and special for whoever you're giving them to, or if you just want to make them for yourself, whatever you're doing. So you'll have an extra candy cane. I just think that red and aqua looks good with that one. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is pour resin on these. I have this cup that's full of paint. It's okay. I'm going to turn it upside down because I'm going to end up throwing this away anyway. So I'm going to turn it upside down and set my ornament on top of it. Same with these. I'm going to get rid of these little doodads and turn that cup upside down and set my ornament on it. So you want to elevate each of your ornaments. Let me see. Make sure they're in the camera. Each of your ornaments, and you want to make sure that everything on here is dry. I cannot emphasize that enough. Make sure all of your glue is dry. Make sure all of your paint is dry. Everything is dry. Otherwise, they will be ruined, and I cannot help you. If that happens, you'll have to start over. Okay, so is that in the camera enough? From my angle, it looks like it is, but okay. All set, ready to go. Let's pretend all of this is completely dry. Oh, Sandy, I would mix the purple. No, I would mix red and green together to get the brown color for sure. And then you could still mix it with that peach color, and you would definitely have a more African American brown color for sure. So red and green together, or blue and orange together, either one makes a good brown. Okay, we're pretending this is completely dry, okay? We have our art resin. This is a great product. It is made by artists for artists, and it's not often that we get a little packet, but I'm so glad that we do because I love these little packets. They're great for one-time use. You want to make sure that your pieces are elevated and that they're on plastic, and you want to put on some gloves, the gloves that are in your box. Put these gloves on, and this has a very slight odor, but it's not a dangerous odor. It has no VOCs, so it's not going to hurt you. You just want to put it in a place where you can leave it to dry for 12 hours undisturbed. You can put a big box over the top of it to keep pets and lint out, pet hair, human hair, little hands, whatever you need to keep out. The first thing you're going to do, this is all the safety information. So I just took it out of the package. And then you've got this packet here. I'm going to slide off this pink clip and mix together these two parts for 3 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 3 minutes. So you're going to mix this for 3 minutes. Sorry, all of your robots just went off. You're going to mix it really thoroughly, okay? If you have kids that you're doing this with and you want to let them mix it, go ahead, but make sure that you mix it too. You want to make sure you get all the little bitty parts in the corners and everything mixed together. It's very, very important because you're making a chemical reaction here. And in order for that to happen, it has to be blended. You can be as aggressive as you want with this. Are the doodads ceramic? Some of them are, some of them are glass. The ears are ceramic. Everything else is glass. These are polymer clay. This one, the little snowflake is wood. The peppermint, I believe, is plastic. So they're all different things. But yeah, I think the ceramic parts are the ears. So I'm going to keep mixing this. We've got 3 minutes, and then we're going to drizzle that on there. And then you've got to, like I said, let it dry for 12 hours. Check the color triangles on your green elf. Looks like they shifted. This one right here, they may have shifted a little bit. I think maybe that's because the glue is not dry underneath there too, maybe. So, oh, it's dry enough though that they're not moving. Just a little bit. Okay. Keep mixing. Now, I will tell you this, you will have just enough resin for these 4 ornaments. You're not going to have extra resin. And you may have just enough that it doesn't even drip onto the table. It might drip through that hole, but you're going to have exactly what you need, not more than what you need. So be really cautious when you're putting resin on these, that you only drizzle on the ornament, that you're not dripping it on the table. Is it? It's you have just enough. You have just what you need, but you're not going to have extra. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, we're almost finished. Oh, Deb, you're so sweet. Thank you. This is fun. Oh my gosh, Christmas making is my favorite thing. I love it so much. Tomorrow's my gingerbread day, so I'm getting ready for that too. We're baking gingerbread all day tomorrow, my friends. So, and we're gonna put on the gingerbread competition while we're making gingerbread. That's our tradition now. All right, our time is almost up, and see how now the packet is getting clear. It was kind of milky looking there for a little while, but now it's really clear. And when it starts to clear up, your 3 minutes is almost up. Oh, there we go. Alexa, stop. Okay, so here's our packet. Alexa, stop. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so here's our packet. And we're just going to snip this corner off. And I'm going to snip it really small up there. Just here, I'll show you over here. I'm going to snip it really, really close, just so that I get a really tiny drizzle. Okay. So just like that, you just want a little tiny drizzle. And when I go to drizzle, I'm going to start with the highest points first. So I'm going to start with these jingle bells and the eyeballs. And again, you want to make sure this is dry. Do as I say, not as I do. This is just because we're doing this live, that I am doing it like while it's still wet. That is a big no-no. Okay, I'm going to do the little balls and do the candy cane and the eyeballs. I'm just going around on each of them, doing the highest points first, because it's going to drizzle down and cover some of the resin. I mean, cover some of the base there, but I want to do these highest points first, and then I'm going to go back around and get the rest of it. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to do these ears and this glass and the collar. There we go. Same thing over here, these ears and this crushed glass up here and the collar. Oh, I think the pink one shifted a little bit too. So you'll have about 30 minutes of open time with your resin. So if something does move or shift and you want to move it back into place, you just take the end of a paintbrush or the end of your tweezers, and you can shift stuff around for a little while. Now, if it's glued down, it's probably not going to move. But you've got a little bit of time to move stuff if you need to. We've got our ears. All right, I'm going to roll this up. Oh, I can't wait to see your all's pictures. You guys are going to have to post pictures for me, okay? You can send them to me in a DM if you want to, or you can share them on your pages and tag me. I would love to be able to share them to my page. And if you know somebody that would like these, if you could sprinkle this video around, that would be great too. I do still have a few left, and I'd love to not have any after Thanksgiving. I'd love to not have any kits left over. I don't think I will, but you know how sometimes you just don't know. It's hard to predict. Okay, got everything covered here. Now, one thing I'm going to do is take the end of my brush and open up these holes right here. I'm just sticking that all the way through there just to make sure that there's no glass down in those holes. Yep. And then it's not all filled up. And then just want to make sure everything's gotten covered in resin. So I'm dragging some of this resin over if there's any little places. But I think they're all covered. Straighten that up, straighten that up, straighten that up. So you can go back through and kind of make sure everything is covered. But I cannot emphasize enough that you need to make sure that your paint and your glue is dry before you do this step. Oh, I got some black on that, see? Because that was not dry. There we go. See, because I didn't glue those triangles down, I can still move them around. So there are benefits to gluing stuff down and, cons to it as well. All right. You guys, look how they turned out. They're so cute. You can shift your little eyes around if you need to. Whatever you need to do. I'm so happy with the way these turned out. They're adorable. Okay, thank you so much for joining me tonight. You do want to leave these to dry for 12 hours. They'll be really dry. 24 hours, they will be cured and ready to hang on a tree. Oh, don't forget you have your leather. Whoops. So when these are all dry, you can slide this leather through those holes and tie a knot in the top of it for the hangers. And don't forget to sign and date the back of your pieces as well. That's really important as an artist. You want to make sure that everything is signed and dated. All right. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Once again, if you need to order one, I still have some available. I have nutcrackers and elves available. So I hope you get your orders in. We'll get them shipped out right away. Thanks so much. Y'all have a great night. Bye.